Hi YouTube family, welcome back to Let's Learn with Nurse Grace. If you have just come across this channel or you're very new to this channel, my name is Grace Ezekiel. I'm a registered nurse. So guys, in this channel, we talk about everything and anything to do with sexual reproduction. So if you're really interested to know more about your sexual reproduction, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the notification button so that when next I upload a video, you get notified and be the first one among the first people to watch. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. And guys, as you can see from the title, today I'll be letting you know on the side effects of masturbation. I know masturbation is something that a lot of people don't like talking about, and it's something that is very, very common amongst people. And according to the research they did, about 78% of the men that they did the research on were masturbating, and about 28% of the women were masturbating. So it seems like it's higher on one gender than the other. So, but I wouldn't like take much seriousness on the research, but because it's worldwide and a lot of people have been practicing masturbation. So guys, if you're really interested to know about the side effects of masturbation, please make sure that you watch this video until the end. Let's get to the video. So what is the meaning of masturbation? So masturbation is self-stimulation of the genitals or the most sensitive areas in your body in order to achieve sexual satisfaction, sexual pleasure, or sexual arousal. So it's simply just self-satisfying yourself by basically doing some things on your genitals or on your sensitive areas in order to achieve sexual satisfaction. So that is the simple definition of masturbation. So I know that a group of people that say that masturbation is bad, and we have also a group of people that say masturbation is good, and there are also other people say that masturbation is something that is ungodly, that it goes against their religion. That's well and good. Well, it depends on the reason as to why you're doing masturbation. I'm not going to tell you stop it. I'm not going to tell you to do it. All I'm here to tell you is on the side effects of masturbation. So if you're that person who is really, really into masturbation, so it's high time for you to sit down, get your drink, get your popcorn, and listen on these side effects that I'm about to mention. So the first one is decreased sexual sensitivity. So if you're that person who really masturbates aggressively, for example, if you're a male, you really perform the masturbation really aggressively, like holding onto your penis and really aggressively, maybe like pulling it and doing other stuff, then you might find yourself that your body is going to be less sensitive to sexual arousal or any other sexual activities, because you find that when you're doing it aggressively, then there's a high chance that you are trying to damage the nerves that are inside your penis. Or if you're a lady, then you might find that you might like try to destroy some nerves that are around your genitals. So if you do it very, very aggressively, then there's a high chance of you developing a decreased sexual sensitivity. Another thing is sore genitals. This is very, very common amongst people who perform masturbation, because you know there are those people who do masturbation and use different kind of things to perform the masturbation. Some might use maybe fruits, some might use some other instruments that might be very, very harmful to your areas within the genitals. So you find that in the process of you doing that, then the area around it is going to be very, very sore, because you might find yourself that maybe when you're using the like maybe aggressive things, like a sort of instrument, like maybe sexual toys, if you're using them and they're not very, very soft, of which you know that the skin around it is very, very thin and it's very, very sensitive to anything. So if you are using aggressive stuff, then there's a high chance that the area within is going to be sore. And if it's sore, then the areas within, maybe you start like scratching yourself and doing sort of things, then there's a high possibility that you might be introducing some bacteria within your genitals. And when you introduce some other bacteria, then there's a high possibility that you might develop some other infections such as urinary tract infection. Another thing is premature ejaculation. Although there's some research that says that there's no way you can have premature ejaculation if you're masturbating, but also there's some research that have said that there's a possibility possibility that you might develop premature ejaculation. And why is it like possible for you to get premature ejaculation when you're masturbating? You know that when you're masturbating, then there's a high chance for you like to achieve your ejaculation status very, very fast, because you're doing it very, very aggressively compared to like when you're having sexual intercourse with your partner. If you're doing it very, very aggressively, then there is a high chance you're going to be ejaculating very, very early in earlier stage. And in this case, you find that when you're having sexual intercourse with your partner, then there's a high chance that you're going to be ejaculating very, very prematurely. You and your partner know that you're ejaculating. Before you know it, you're already ejaculating. So if you're that person who is masturbation, please note that there's a high chance that you might developing premature ejaculation. Another point is social distancing. So what do I mean by social distancing? Social distancing is definitely distancing yourself from having sexual relationship with other people, like your friends, relatives. There's a high chance that you're developing distance. You're creating this distance. You're preventing yourself from socializing with other people, your friends. This is because you know that when you're masturbating, it means that you're, especially those people who are really, really addicted to masturbation, you find yourself that you're very, very like your mind, everything, your body is always focusing on the masturbating part. So you find yourself that even you don't have like that time to interact with other people. You like being on your own so that you can try to masturbate very, very easily. You find that when you try to like have like social relationship with people, you don't want to like interact with people. You want to stay on your own so that you get the chance to masturbate. You know that when you're on your own is when you're likely, very likely to do the masturbation. So you don't like the like maybe if there's like a function somewhere, you don't want to go to those functions because you want to be on yourself so that you can easily masturbate. In all this, like you want to stay on your own or something like that, then there's a high chance that you're not going to like have good relationship with friends. You're not going to have good relationship with your relatives because you don't really have that time to like interact with other people. You just want to be yourself, and that is one of the major side effects of masturbation. Another thing is guilt. What do I mean by guilt? Guilt is that, you know, when early in this video I stated that there are those people who believe that when they're masturbating, they're going against their religion, they're going against their practices, maybe against the ethnicity or against anything. So when you're doing this masturbation and you're that person who really knows that in this kind of religion and in this kind of religion we are not allowed to do masturbation, then you will have the guilt sensation. You will feel very, very guilty. And in this process, then there's a high chance of you like developing other conditions, like maybe you might be depressed or other things, because you know that you're not supposed to do this masturbation, but in real sense you are doing it. So you develop this guilt sensation, of which is not very good. Another thing is impact on your sexual life. When you talk about impact on your sexual life, you'll find that if you're that person who really loves masturbating, it means that you are sexually satisfying yourself. You really don't need a partner in order for you to be sexually satisfied. And if you're that person who is maybe married into a relationship, or maybe you've got partner, then there's a high chance that you're not going to be really interested in having sexual relationship with your partner, because you're that person who is sexually satisfying yourself. And if you sexually satisfy yourself, then you won't find any need of you having sexual intercourse with your partner. You'll just want to be on yourself so that you can really satisfy yourself. And in this case, you might find that it might affect your relationship, because your other partner might want to practice the sexual intercourse, but you yourself, you're really not interested because you satisfy yourself sexually. And even let's say like you try to perform the sexual activity with your partner, and then there's a high chance that you're not going to like really pay close attention to whatever your partner's needs and wants are. So in this case, it will definitely have a big impact on your sexual life. So another major thing is that you will lose ability to think and to do your normal things that you always do. Like you lose ability to think, ability to remember things, ability to do other things like your work. You don't have the ability to do that, because especially for those people who are really, really into masturbation, they're very addicted to it, then you lose interest in the things that you used to find very interesting in your previous life. Then you find yourself that they're no longer interesting for you to do them. You don't want to do them. You're not able to remember things that, maybe say you just left something there and you're supposed to be remembering to do stuff. You have got appointments that you need to do it. Then it's very difficult to do them, because remember that your body, your mind, your everything is really focused on masturbation. You just want to find that small time that you find, that few minutes that you find, you just want to be on yourself so that you can really try to masturbate. So ability to remember things, to do things, it goes and depreciates. So with time, you might find that you're no longer able to remember anything. Your mind is fully focused on masturbation. So those are one of the major things of masturbation, of which is very, very bad. So the last thing is erectile dysfunction. So I know that as per research, they say that there's no way you can develop erectile dysfunction, but it's not going to come on its own. We'll say that masturbation alone will not bring erectile dysfunction, but the things that you do when you're masturbation are the things that might bring about erectile dysfunction. Like, let's say you're using some instruments, some sexual toys that might affect the nerves within your penis. So if you do that, then there's a high chance that you might develop erectile dysfunction, because there's a high chance that your nerves might be damaged, your muscles might be damaged, there might be reduced blood flow onto your penis. And when all this works out, then there's a high chance that you might develop erectile dysfunction. And you know that erectile dysfunction is one of the major causes of infertility in male gender. So if you're that person who loves masturbation, who you are really into masturbation, it's high time for you to try and wind down to it. Try to talk to some health professional. They're going to help you and help you on how to stop masturbation. Then guys, I'll be doing a video on what things that you can do, or how to prevent, or what things you can do in order for you to try and stop masturbation. I'll be doing a video on that, and I'll be uploading soon. So guys, if you have really liked the video, if you got any question that you need to ask me, please make sure that you do it onto the comment section, and I'll be gladly answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you on my next video. Goodbye.